The government enacted two pieces of long overdue legislation to define its physical makeup as an archipelago, then cement its claim and assert its rights on its territories in compliance with international law, as our Kenneth Paciente reports.
To further promote the sovereignty of the Philippines and clarify its territorial boundaries, two laws were signed by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., the Philippine Maritime Zones Law and Philippine Archipelagic Sea Lanes Law. According to the President, the Philippine Maritime Zones Act aims to clarify the country's maritime entitlements and scope, which are based on the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS. This will also establish the maritime jurisdiction of the Philippines, ensuring the country's rights as an archipelagic state are clearly defined, so that Filipinos can benefit from the wealth of the Philippine seas.
Our people, especially our fisherfolk, should be able to pursue their livelihood free from uncertainty and harassment. We must be able to harness mineral and energy resources in our seabed. Maintaining the primacy of the UNCLOS and the 2016 Arbitral Award as our beacons in the maritime domain, the Philippines reaffirms its sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in our waters. By defining and asserting our maritime zones, we project to the international community that we are staunchly committed to nurturing, cultivating, and protecting our maritime domain.
While the Philippine Archipelagic Sea Lanes Law will strengthen the Philippines' maritime and aerial policies through the designation of routes for international vessels. These will avoid arbitrary international passages through the territory of the Philippines or unregulated entry of foreign vessels into the country's waters. The President stated that this will still be implemented according to UNCLOS, while strictly upholding the principles of equality and respect for other countries.
The designated archipelagic sea lanes and air routes aim to facilitate safe passage for foreign ships and aircraft without compromising our national security, nor diminishing our capacity for good environmental stewardship. These sea lanes will offer continuous, expeditious, and unobstructed transit for vessels and air transport, while obliging them to comply with navigational regulations and procedures, as well as with the air rules of flight safety and protocols.
According to the President, these two laws are important in showing the country's commitment to international rules-based order. They also demonstrate the country's position in promoting and protecting its maritime zones and domain. These laws align with what is stipulated in international laws and show the Philippines as a responsible member of the international community. The President hopes that through these laws, the country can strengthen the protection of its maritime interests.
I therefore call on all concerned government agencies and the local governments to review rules and regulations against these new laws with a view of undertaking the necessary steps for their effective implementation.
The National Maritime Council welcomed the two laws. These laws will simply reflect the country's desire to protect the Philippines' vast maritime resources.
These important legislations underscore our commitment to adhere to international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas. They provide essential guidelines for navigation and the sustainable management of our waters, promoting maritime safety, security, and responsible stewardship of our precious marine ecosystems.
Senator Francis Tolentino emphasized that the two laws will implement the 2016 arbitral ruling which favored the Philippines. However, the senator insisted that despite having such laws, other countries will not recognize them immediately.
We don't expect an instant recognition on the part of China because they have been disregarding international law. So makakatulong sa atin to kasi yung mga mangingisda natin, number 2, yung Republic Act 12065, alam na nila kung saan dadaan yung malalaking mga barko. Hindi na mauulit yung nangyayari dati sa Zambales, Santa Cruz area, Zambales, na yung mga bangka nating maliliit na babangga na malalaking barko.
However, the DOJ insists the Philippines will strictly enforce these laws as its implementation does not depend on the recognition of other countries. Lawmakers and stakeholders also recognize the President's determination after the successful enactment of the two bills after 18 years. From PTV, Kenneth Paciente, Balitang Pambansa.